You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Bold and the Beautiful fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got your weekly prediction edition. We have got so much to talk about, and as always, our predictions are based on recent episodes as well as confirmed and official CBS soap opera spoilers. We have got prediction this week for Poppy and Homeless Tom, for Paris and Hope, for Brooke and Thomas, for Sheila and Homeless Tom, and for Thomas and Hope. We're going to dive right in, but if you have not, please reach down and click subscribe. And again, I want to emphasize that I'm calling him Homeless Tom because we have Thomas back, and so we have two people with virtually the same name, and I'm trying to differentiate them. Hopefully something will change with the character and I can give him a new nickname, but for now, at least you know who I mean. So our very first prediction is that Poppy ruined Homeless Tom's life, and I think she might be the reason he's on the streets and this messed up, broken man whose life has been just utterly ruined until Deacon came along to help him. So on Friday, we saw Tom and Poppy's mutual shock to see each other when he dumped the water in her lap, and then she was kind of giving him the stink eye from the table when he was peeking around from the kitchen, an eyeball warning to stay away. But then in the promo for next week, Tom shows up with pizza as an excuse to get on the grounds of the Spencer estate, and it looks like he is confronting Poppy, and she is furious to see him at her door, and she looks a little scared. And then Thursday, June 27th, Luna begins to see there's some sketchy stuff in her mom's past, and somebody writes Poppy a reality check, and I have to assume that somebody is going to be Tom. I don't know if he wants a payday, revenge, or what, but I'm very intrigued, and I'm really enjoying Clint Howard's ongoing cameo. All right, our second prediction. Paris Buckingham is going to tell Hope Logan to back off her man. So on Friday, we saw Thomas Forster back in the CEO office, and Hope looked at him like he was the moon and stars. She thinks he came back for her, but all that's going to end on Monday when Paris walks in behind him, stands beside Thomas with that big old rock on her finger and her hand on Douglas's shoulder. That is his new stepmama-to-be. This kicks off on Monday, June 24th, when Thomas says they're engaged and marrying soon on Tuesday the 25th. As Douglas catches up with his granddad Ridge and his aunt Steffi, Hope begs Thomas to choose her and reunite with her. Thursday the 27th, Steffi and Hope argue about Thomas, and on Friday the 28th, Ridge grills Thomas about the future. I expect Paris will do all she can to protect this relationship and her engagement. Remember, Carter ditched her for Quinn. She's not been especially lucky in love. She did have a mini crush on Finn for just a second that never went anywhere. That's pretty ironic, considering that Hope's crushing on him now. But Thomas and Paris, they were good friends. They were briefly roommates. So while the engagement seems fast, I see it as a romance born out of friendship and not out of obsession like he had with Hope. So I do imagine Paris is ready to fight. She's probably expecting a fight because Hope gave up on a really good guy, and he's easy on the eyes and he's rich. So look for a fight. The third prediction, I think Brooke is going to want Thomas back on the Hope for the Future line for more than just business reasons. So last week we saw Brooke accepting a leadership role at Forster Creations, and she is trying to protect Hope's line and also protect Hope from her obsession with Steffi's husband, Finn. And with Thomas back, Brooke may see there's potential to transfer that affection away from Finn and back to Thomas. And also, she knows that Thomas can save Hope for the future. He has before. On Friday's episode, that travesty of a dress that she showed her mom, it was so awful. It looked like a grass skirt up top and a beaded nightmare below. Oh my gosh. Spoilers related to this. On Thursday, the 27th, Steffi and Hope argue about Thomas, and I'm guessing Steffi is going to want him on Couture or another line far away from Hope for the Future, far away from Hope, because she wants Hope for the Future to fail And honestly, she wants Hope to fail as well. And I think Brooke may try and override Steffi. Our fourth prediction, Sheila's going to try stick and carrot with homeless Tom to get him under control. Last week, you'll remember Sheila overheard Tom dissing her twice while talking to Deacon, talking about her crimes, wondering if Deacon is scared of her, wondering how Deacon could marry a sociopath. Sheila wasn't having it at all. She threatened him when she had that big knife in her hand, told him to stop trash talking her to her husband or else. She insists she's changed, but then threatening Tom, with a knife seems like the same old bad apple Sheila that she's been for decades. So she's made a threat. That's the stick. Next, I think she's going to try a carrot, try some positive reinforcement to convince him that she's changed, that she's not a threat to anyone, and that they can get along. Because she doesn't want him to mess with her relationship and her new marriage with her daddy Deacon. So Wednesday, June 26th, the spoilers say that homeless Tom has a dream and Deacon and Sheila want to help him fulfill it. And remember, he had that guitar with him that Deacon had stored behind the bar. So I suspect music is probably his passion, and maybe they're going to let him play at Il Giardino. That'd probably be better than him continuing to spill water on the clientele. Our fifth and final prediction, Thomas is tempted by Hope, but I think he intends to stick with Paris, to see this through, to marry her. Next week, Thomas tells Hope he is engaged and then also tells his dad that he and Paris want the same thing. He's glad to have a woman that wants the same thing, which is marriage, family, stability, permanence. And he tells his dad they're going to get married soon. And then, of course, we have Hope begging him to choose her. That's on Tuesday. But Thomas is not a cheater. That's one of the things Hope likes best about him. She said he's not always a good man, but he's a loyal man. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that he did date Paris's sister, Zoe Buckingham, and he was running a con on her to make Hope jealous. But that was back when he had that brain injury, before he had the brain surgery. I don't think he's running a scheme. I think he left LA genuinely hurt, and I do think he is going to reject Hope and do his very best to be loyal to Paris while Hope is trying to sabotage things. I do think he has the very best intentions, but she's the rebound after he got and lost the girl of his dreams. But if Hope can, get to him, maybe if she proposes to him, it would change. But in the meantime, I do think he is going to try super hard to stick with Paris. Those are all of our bold and the beautiful predictions for this week. Hey, if you haven't already, please reach down and click subscribe. Follow us so you don't miss any of our updates. Drop your comments on where you're hoping to see these storylines go. And be sure and come back soon. We are talking bold and the beautiful 7 days a week. And as always, I'm your host, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.